In this final episode, we're going to be looking at how to make sure that your website appears in search results and how to make sure that when it appears in the best manner possible, and also how you can monitor the success and the number of visitors and trends of your website using Google Analytics. Okay, so the first place I normally start is at File, Site Properties. And the first place to start is the HTML output. You can ignore most of the top two boxes, and we're just going to concentrate on the page header area. We can just put in an author name, and we can just put in some copyright information. And that's pretty much all we have to do on the HTML output tab. The next one is a search tab. And here we can enter a description that will sort of be the default description for every page, unless we choose a specific description for a page, in which case that will override this. So we're just going to put in something. And in the second one, we'll just put in some keywords that relate to the site. So now it's important to remember that at the moment search engines such as Google do not really care about your keywords that you put in here, but it's still worth putting in at least 5 or 6. Firstly, there may be other search engines out there that do care about keywords, and secondly, Google, being in Yahoo, they're constantly changing their algorithm and their methods of including keywords in their search results and using keywords to get search results. So it's always better to have your bases covered and just include 5 or 6, not too many in this area. Okay, so the next one is search engine, and the first two options are about excluding pages from search results. So there may be some pages that you don't want to appear in search results, and both of these options rely on obedient search engines. So if a search engine doesn't care whether you're using meta tags or a robots.txt file, it won't pay any attention, and it will go ahead and it will add those pages to its index anyway. So this is not a way for protecting pages or keeping pages private, but for telling obedient search engines, hey, I don't want you to index this, and if they're obedient, they won't. So you can create a robots meta tag, or you can create a search engine robots file. I would recommend that you always use a create search engines robots file. Basically, it will create a little text file, and it will say to search engines, don't index this page, or don't index this whole folder. So I'm going to switch it on, and when I do this, it's simply just a file that has just got a little bit of text in it, but it's not excluding any pages, so that's fine for now. And I'll explain when we will use this. Okay, so the next one is create search engine sitemap file. I'm going to check that, and this does the opposite of a robots file in that it tells search engines exactly the layout and the structure of your website, and so they'll be able to have a better understanding of how your website is laid out. So that's something you should definitely have on, and you should always make sure index pages on this site is checked. You don't have to worry about the sitemap settings, the default ones will be fine. Okay, so that's all we need to do for now here. So I'm just going to click OK. So we've pretty much set up the basic SEO for this website, but we're going to take it just a little bit further, and for every page what you should be doing, so I'm just going to right click, page properties, and I'm going to go to search, and for every page you should have a unique description for that page, and search engines like it when you do that. So if you don't put anything into here or here, then that's fine, it will take the description from the site properties, but ideally every page should have a description that is relating to that page. So here we could have, for example, and then we would have a certain specific set of keywords that appear on this page. So we could have audio, Okay, so for every page within your website that you want on a search result, make sure you give it a unique page description and make sure you add some unique keywords. Always include global keywords from the site properties. You can have that checked. I'd recommend keeping it checked, and then it will add the keywords from the site properties that we added. Okay, so that's fine. Under search engines, for most pages you won't need to do anything and you can leave it as it is, but for pages that you don't want indexed, say for example we don't want our terms pages to appear in search results because we don't want people looking for our terms and conditions, or we don't want them appearing. Similarly, if you have a confirmation page that leads on from your contact page, then you won't want that appearing in search results as well. So what you would do is right click, page properties, and under search engines, you would basically check override search engines settings and you would uncheck index this page. So now this page will not appear in search engine results because the robot's text file will say, hey, don't look at this page, don't include it in the search results. And that's all you need to do in terms of site properties and page properties. On your page, you should make sure that you have your keywords appearing about, depending on the search engine, about 3 to 5%. So for example, if audio was a keyword, then for every 100 words of text, it should be appearing 3 to 5 times. If it starts appearing more than that, search engines will start to get suspicious and they'll actually degrade your ranking within those search results. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to publish this website to disk, so not online, just to disk, and then we'll have a look at the robot's text file that's created. So I'm going to go to File, Publish Site, Publish to Disk folder, and I'm going to click Publish All Pages and OK, and it will say this folder doesn't exist, would you like to create it? Yes. And once it's published to disk, we can view the files in Windows Explorer, and then what it's done is it's output all the files into the folder, including the robot's text file. So I'm just going to double click that, and you can see it's basically saying all search engines do not index terms.html, so don't include these in your search results. Equally, we can have a look at our sitemap. Now that's an XML document, so it will open in whatever your default reader is for XML, so that will probably be Internet Explorer or Firefox. And you can see simply that all it's doing is identifying all the pages within your website, excluding the ones that you don't want indexed. Okay, other than that, you can see that it's outputted all the files, and it's useful to know how to publish to disk in case you ever want to look at a file and maybe change it manually. And I'm just going to open up Index. Look at the metadata by right clicking and view source. If you're using a different browser, it might be view source code, or it might just be look at source code, but it will normally just be something around source. So I'm just going to click on that, and at the top is where you will find those meta tags that we were adding. So for example, we've got the keywords here, and we've got our content description here, and we've got our author and our copyright information there. Okay, so the next thing we should be doing is to actually installing Google Analytics. So the first thing you need to do is to sign up for Google Analytics. So if you go to www.google.com/analytics, click sign up now, and click sign up now again, and just complete the form. It's always important to have a good strong password. I don't want Google to be my default home page. just make sure you read the terms and conditions and click I accept, create my account. Once you do that, you'll come to the account creation confirmation page, and basically what it says is that we're sending you a verification email to your inbox, and once you get that, follow the link to verify the account. So I'll go to our inbox, and there you go, account verification email. To activate the account and verify the email, just follow the link. So we'll just do that, and it says thank you for verifying your Google account, and the account is now activated. So we'll just close that, and we'll press click here to continue. Once we do that, we can come back to the Google Analytics page and click sign up for Google Analytics. We're going to put in the website that we're interested in, so that's www. Of course, for you it'll be whatever website you want to track. We'll just choose our territory and click continue, and we'll put in our first name and our last name and click continue. We'll just put in our country and territory again. So we'll read the terms and conditions, check it, and click create new account. Now it might appear as if we've created a new account, but what we've actually done is just create a new profile for a specific website. So once we do that, we get the code, which is our tracking code, and all we're going to do is copy that, right click, copy, and then we'll open up WebPlus, click File, Site Properties, Analytics, Enable Web Analytics, and paste from clipboard. Then you can just simply press OK. Clicking Go to Google Analytics website simply just takes you to the Google Analytics site that we were just at, and then you just, once you pressed OK, that's pretty much it. So the way to make sure that it's installed is to preview the site. So I'm just going to press Ctrl+Shift+1 to preview. I'm just going to right click, view page source, and you can see at the top that it's put the code in here. So that's your unique code for your website. It'll be different for every single website. Okay, so that's it. So once you've added your code to the website and you're happy it's there, we'll go back to Google Analytics. You can just click Save and Finish. And then it will take us to our Google Analytics dashboard. So every time that we want to see our statistics are doing, how things are changing, we just log back in and it will take us back to this dashboard. And that's the web address that it's monitoring. As you can see, the status is tracking unknown, and after about a day it will become, the status will become okay, and then it will start tracking your website. You'll be able to view reports. As you can see that we've just done it, so there's nothing there, but you'll be able to see a graph of the visitors, the number of visits, page views, page visits, bounce rate, and so on. And from the left you'll be able to drill into how people have arrived at your website, how many people visit your website once a week, once a month, the traffic sources. For example, do people arrive from Google search, whether they arrive just by typing in your address or from whichever place that they arrive from. You can do a lot of things that are quite useful to do. You can also look at some of the resources, and it will also explain to you how you can better leverage Google Analytics to find out about what people are doing on your website. So once you're happy with your website, the next step is to actually let search engines know that your website exists. And the easiest way to do this is for Google, Bing, and DMOZ is to go to their specific web pages and add your URL, your website address, and they'll start working on it. So for Google, this is the address, and I'll put that in the more info box. Same with Bing, same with DMOZ and Yahoo. And you simply add your URL and any comments, put in the validation, and just click add URL. This doesn't guarantee that within a minute, an hour, or a day that your website will start appearing in results, but it will start to appear within probably about 2 weeks. Once you've told the search engines about your website by adding your URL, the next step is to submit a sitemap to Google and to Bing. To do that, you need to have a webmaster account with both of those services, and it's pretty straightforward to set those up. Once you've set that up, whichever one you're in, you need to find sitemap, click on that link, and it will take you to the sitemap submission link. And on that, what you simply do is add your website address followed by sitemap.xml, which is a file that WebPlus creates every time you publish your website, and you simply click submit, and that will submit your sitemap. For Yahoo, it's slightly different. You simply type in the address followed by your web address followed by your sitemap, but I'll put more information about that in the more info box. And that pretty much concludes this 6-part series. I hope you've had fun. I hope you can go on to create your own websites, get them online, and make them vastly successful. There will be more tutorials after this, but those will probably just concentrate on one feature or one item at a time, and they'll be back to the normal maybe once every 2 weeks sort of time frame. So if you did like these series, do subscribe, comment, and rate. Thanks for watching.